Hello, friends. Happy Friday. My name is Jess, and I work for Family Equality, and I'm so excited that you joined us for our story time today. And I'm here with my friend, Miss Money. Hi, Miss Money.
Hi, Jess.
Hi. Welcome, everyone. So, Miss Money is actually the financial education officer at Rockland Trust, and Rockland Trust Bank is sponsoring our story time today, which is really exciting. And some of you might know Rockland Trust because they usually hang out with us at Family Week in Provincetown, which is really awesome. And they are great friends, and they really value their LGBTQ families, employees, and patrons. So thank you to Rockland Trust, and thank you to Miss Money for being with us today. For those of you who don't know, Miss Money usually spends her time hanging out with kids and dancing and singing about money, which is really cool. And that's exactly what we're going to do here today. So I will turn it over to Miss Money to kind of bring us through an afternoon of singing, dancing, and fun all about money.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much, Jess. This is so exciting to be with all of you today. Whew, it's Friday, and for some of you, it's the end of your first maybe week of school, and it's been exciting and exhausting and really different this year. So I'm excited to be here with you today to do a bunch of things. A couple of my favorite things to do, as Jess said, is sing and dance about money. So we'll be doing a little bit of that in a bit because it's really important to learn about money at any age because we all have to use it. So I'm so lucky that I get to go into schools and in the community on behalf of Rockland Trust and teach kids and families and senior citizens and grown-ups about money in all different kinds of ways. But when I get to teach kids, it's really exciting because I get to teach it in really fun ways. So we'll do that in a bit. But I've been doing a lot of reading this summer, and I thought that we'd start off by reading a book. So I will read the book and you guys will listen. Sound like a deal? Okay, this is one of my favorite books. It's called How Full is Your Bucket for kids. And it's a great book about feeling good about yourself and making nice comments about other people. And I think this is a really important book to read every once in a while because it's a good reminder about how our statements, the things that come out of our mouths, affect other people and can make them feel really not so good or really great. So let's read How Full is Your Bucket for kids. It's written by Tom Rath and Mary Reckmeyer, and it's illustrated by Maury J. Manning. And I've got permission to read this book from Gallup Press. So here we go. Felix was putting one of the last blocks on his tower when his little sister came in. I want to build with you, she said. Felix scowled. Go away, you're too little. I'm big, she said. Stay back, you'll knock it over. I can be very careful. Go play with your baby toys, Anna. Grandpa! Felix yells. Grandpa shook his head. Felix, you just dipped from your sister's bucket. Like everyone else, Anna has an invisible bucket. When it's empty, she feels bad. But when it's full, she feels great. Didn't you ever notice your own bucket? Invisible bucket? Sometimes Felix couldn't quite tell when his grandfather was joking. But the next morning, when Felix woke up, there it was, a small gray bucket floating above his head. When Felix came down to have breakfast, his mom was in a hurry. I've got a meeting this morning. It's almost time to go. Anna, sit still. Felix slipped and cocoa wheat scattered across the floor. Felix, yelled his mom, you should have used that stool to reach that. Uh-oh. Felix could feel his bucket tip and big, invisible drips spill out. Drip, drip. Ha ha, Anna laughed as she crunched the cereal with her shoe. Drip. Get the broom and clean that up before you miss the bus, his mother scolded. With the school bus honking, Felix quickly swept up the cocoa wheats and grabbed the last blueberry muffin. But before he could even take one bite, Buster jumped up and grabbed the muffin from his hand. Drip. Hey, Felix. Hey, look at your new backpack. My baby brother has one just like it. Drip. Psst, Felix. Psst, Drip. Watch out, Shrimp. Drip. Well, it looks like Felix is not having a good day at all. It was still morning, and Felix's bucket felt almost empty. As he watched his classmates walk into the room, he secretly hoped they would trip and fall. That's what it feels like when you have an empty bucket. Felix slumped into his seat and waited for something else bad to happen. Mrs. Bumblenickel walked slowly up to his desk and handed him a paper. He could hardly bear to look. Felix, you wrote a wonderful story. Would you please share it with the class? Felix grinned and felt a big drop land right in his bucket. Drop! The class grew quiet. They laughed at all the right places and oohed at all the scary parts. And when Felix finally read the end, everybody clapped, even Emily, who sat next to him and didn't usually like stories about dinosaurs, and his story was about a dinosaur. Felix felt a whole shower of drops land in his bucket. Maybe the day wouldn't be so bad after all. Look at, he's eating with a friend, and a drop goes right in his bucket. Team captains today are Veronica and Felix. Drop. Nice cow. It's a dog. Well, nice colors there, Felix, when he's painting a picture. Cool laser ant backpack, Felix. Drop, drop. By afternoon, Felix's bucket was nearly full. At recess, when he looked around, Felix suddenly realized that his grandpa was right. Everyone had a bucket too. So he decided to help people out. Let me help you. Drop, drop. Here's your baseball. Catch. Thanks, dude. Drop, drop. Hi, I'm Felix. Is this your first day? Yes, I'm Amir. The strange thing was that for every drop he helped put in someone else's bucket, he felt another drop in his own bucket. When Felix burst in the door after school, he shouted, "You were right, Grandpa. I do have a bucket, and I understand how it works." He saw Anna's torn doll. Bad dog, he almost scolded, but then he thought, dogs might have invisible buckets too. So instead, he said, "Your doll will be okay, Anna," said Felix. "Mom will fix her. Until then, do you want to help me build the tallest building in the world with my blocks?" And so they did. The end. I love this book, How Full Is Your Bucket for Kids, because it really shows you that when you say something nice, nice things happen. You start to think nice things, and it makes everything like a little bit more fun. Now, that has to do with this next thing that I want to talk about, which is, what do you think Miss Money wants to talk about? Money. Yes. So like I said, and Jess said, I go into schools and I sing and dance about money, and we do all sorts of things. And this fall, we'll be doing all these kind of things through your computers at school. So you'll be able to see Miss Money and the coins through your computers. But in the meantime, I have an activity and a lesson that I would like to talk about today. So in your links that you've been sent out, there's a page that has a song called Give a Little, Get a Lot. And it kind of reminds me of How Full Is Your Bucket? Because when I look out my window, I can think and see people outside doing all sorts of good things for the community. Just the other day, there was a group of people going outside and cleaning up trash in the park. And this afternoon in my town, some high school children are volunteering to get food to the food pantry and unpack it and bring it into the building. In so many ways, your families do wonderful things for each other, for other family members, and for other people in the community. And when you give, you get a lot. Maybe not, a present, but you get a lot of good feelings inside that make you feel good about being alive and being part of a community and helping people. And so that reminds me a little bit about this book, because when you say nice things start to come into your head as well. So I am actually going to do a little technical thing here and share my screen. And I would like to show you this lesson about money. I think I might not share my screen, but I will show you this lesson about money. So there's a link at rocklandtrust.com, and if you search Miss Money at Home, you can find all of these fun songs. And one of them is Give a Little, Get a Lot. And I challenge you to find this document and print it out and draw a picture of what you see your family or maybe your friends or your community doing in the community that is sharing, that is giving, that is nice. Draw a picture of it, and then write a thank you note to those people who are doing great things in the community. And as you start thinking about what those things are, I'm going to play a song for you. And this is the time where you can get up and start to dance a little bit. I'm going to be saving my dancing for when I do Miss Money and the Coins through your computers in the next couple of months. But I would like to see some of your dance moves now. So let's get moving.
All around us. And when you give, you feel good. Coins inside a jar under your bed. All they do is weigh you down. Just one single coin can be the magic that turns a bad day right around.
Coin by coin, it adds up. Give a little, get a lot. Give a little, get a whole lot more than what you got. Give a little, get a lot. Give a little, get a lot.
Oh, I get it, Miss Money. Like this. Student standing outside a grocery store. Asking folks to lend a hand. They might see the post for the soccer field. Oh, the uniforms for marching band.
Coin by coin.
Smile by smile. Give a little, get a lot. Give a little, watch how baby steps turn into life. Give a little, get a lot. Give a little, get a lot. Miss Money, I have an idea. If everyone gave one extra penny or two or five, imagine a giant pile with millions of pennies, millions of miles back.
Let's put our hands together for the end of the song.
Someone ringing a bell out on the street, trying to feed and close the floor. Those pennies won't be that missed by you or me, but to them it will mean so much more. Coin by coin, dream by dream.
Give a little, get a lot. Give a little.
Watch how we become a dream machine.
Give a little,
Get up and
get a
dance.
lot. Give a little.
There is no such thing as just spare change.
Give a little, get a lot. Give a little.
Watch how we can make the whole world change.
Give a little, get a lot.
Give a little, get a lot. Give a little, get a lot. Give and get a lot. Wow. Great job, Penny. Great job, Nick. Wow, you guys, that was amazing.
Good job, everyone. So that's a little sample of Miss Money and the Coins with a couple of technical breaks, but it worked out. you get the gist. Give a little, get a lot. You do, you get a lot. And there's so many lessons that can be learned about money. Some about sharing, some about spending, some about saving. And I'm going to invite Jess back into the screen here because I think that some families might have some questions about money and how to talk to kids about money.
Yeah, thanks so much. We actually do have a few questions, but before we dive in, I wanted to share my picture of giving a little and getting a lot. Oh, my fingers over it. I only had this tiny Post-it note, but something we do in my family is we actually go shopping for people in our community that maybe can't go to the grocery store right now because of the virus, or maybe they just don't have a car, or maybe they just can't walk around the grocery store and pick out things that might be heavy. So something my kiddo and I do together is we go shopping for other people.
Great. So that might be a fun thing to write, if you do that with a friend or your kids, you can write them a thank you note for going with you. And it's fun to get mail. Even if you send mail to people who actually live in your house, it's still fun to open the mailbox and see mail that's for you, especially when someone's thanking you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, let's dive into some of these questions. So someone asked a question about what age does it make sense to start talking to kids about money? Like, how soon is too soon?
Sure. So, I don't think there really is a too soon when it comes to kids. Obviously, when they're babies, you're not going to talk to your baby, but when they're toddlers and they're discovering things, right? Or speaking of grocery stores, when you go to the grocery store, oftentimes we bring our children and to explain, why we're purchasing certain things and maybe why we're going to skip out on the snacks that at the checkout line that, we don't need that right now. Well, why I want it. Well, that's a great opportunity to talk about, well, there's a difference between needing food because it's healthy and we need food to live and to feel good and to be healthy. And then there's the difference between wanting all the, the fun snacks all the time. And that, these things cost money. And then you can just talk about it. And in kids, it's not as easy nowadays to see money because most of us use our credit cards or our debit cards, but you can, as they get older and they understand, a little bit more elementary school age, you can say, well, this is attached to my bank account. So when I use this card, the money comes right out, far immediately, but then if you see, mom using this card, it might be for a bigger purchase, which I will pay off time over time, which is a credit card. And that's something you can start to explain as kids get older into their teenage years. So totally. I think it's a subject that Americans don't really talk about candidly with our families. And that needs to change because we all are going to have to use money. And the more educated and the more comfortable we feel talking about anything, the better we are going to doing it. So I would say that as soon as you're comfortable introducing little topics like needs versus wants for maybe, older toddlers into elementary schools, and then maybe debit cards and cash and how that looks to, older elementary schools, and then into credit and interest and debt as they get into their teenage years is something that just should be talked about, because we use money every day.
Absolutely. We talk about needs and wants a lot in our house. And I don't know if any of our friends watching ever play the game Grocery Store. We play that a lot at our house too, where you pretend to buy a bunch of things that are in your cabinet and then you get to play. Maybe you get to play with real money, or maybe you have fake money at home. Mm-hmm. That's one of our favorite games that we play in our house. And that is a really fun way to start learning about money.
Yeah, just even holding real money for little kids can be so exciting, or rolling coins. And that's fun. It's a fun activity at home, and it teaches things like counting and just patience, because that's very and fine motor skills. It's hard to do. So physical money is great, and then the concept of money is also great.
Awesome. And that kind of leads me to our next question is about allowances. Like, do you think that's a good intro to money, is getting an allowance or earning an allowance? I don't know if any of our friends out there maybe allowances is something that's part of their home and their day, but
Yeah,
I know it's a hot topic.
it is, and so many people have very strong opinions about it. I don't particularly have a strong opinion on whether it's a good or I don't think anything's a good or bad. I don't think it has to be in those two categories. I think it's whatever you feel comfortable with. As a financial educator, I think any way you introduce money and responsibility and the concept of earning is great. So, however you choose to do that, you can be really creative. But I think that, earning is a great concept, and to attach that to money is also makes that learning that concept a little bit easier. Also, you can introduce saving and sharing through getting an allowance. But if you are a very busy parent and doing things on schedule is not your jam, and you do not have cash around all the time, and your 10-year-old is going to demand that $5 on Friday, and you're just going to disappoint them because you don't have it, and then you'll forget about it, and then you owe them 20 at the end of the month, and it just will drive you crazy. I'm not sure that that's the best thing for your family. So I think that every family has a different decision to make in that, and that's when you don't have to kind of keep up with the Joneses. Well, Sally gets $20 if she gets an A in her report card, and this person gets, $5 for eating their vegetables. I don't know, it's tough as a parent to make those choices. And so I think that you really have to examine your habits and what is going to work for your family, and what you want to do. I don't think there should be a rule of thumb about what age and what you should do. I think I would promote for families to do is just to talk about money.
Awesome. I love that. And I really appreciate the idea of whatever works best for your family. That's something that we really believe strongly at Family Equality, that what works for your family might not be the same thing that works for another family. So that's great to hear. And our final question is, where could folks find more Miss Money activities? Do they exist? Are they out there?
They do. So Give a Little, Get a Lot was one sample of a song and an activity, which you did great at, Jess, by the way. Nice job. So one activity that you can do at home. And there are 5 different songs on the Rockland Trust website. If you go to the Learning Center, you'll see a little section about Miss Money and financial education. And there's a Miss Money at Home link. And then Miss Money and the Coins is the stage show that we've been performing since 2011 for more than 70,000 kids in Massachusetts. So if some of you recognize me out there, it's because a lot of you might have seen me in your cafetoriums singing and dancing about money. Now this year, it's going to be a little bit different. So we will be updating that page with some ways that teachers and students can access Miss Money and the Coins later on in the fall. But in the meantime, we have great activity guides that you can download. And for grownups who are looking to become a little bit more financially educated, because I think we all can become more financially educated, even Miss Money. I think that, there's so much information out there to learn every day. So we have a podcast called No Shame in This Money Game, and it's for grownups. And I encourage you to download it. It's free where you find your podcast, and it's also on the Rockland Trust website, and it explores different grownup financial topics. In bite-size, easy to digest, and no shame arena to learn a little bit more about money than maybe you knew a few minutes before you listened. So that's great for grown-up listeners as well.
Great. That's awesome. And we actually put the link to Miss Money's at-home activities in the comments section. And I'll also pop the link to the podcast in there as well, so folks can access those super easily.
Awesome.
That's all I have for questions. But if families out there think of more questions, feel free to pop them in the comments section, and we'll send them over to Miss Money to be answered.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thanks so much
Thank
for this
you.
opportunity today, Jess.
Yeah, thank you. Did you want to share another book with us before we?
I have another book. So if there are questions about money that come in the meantime, I'll pop back in and talk about money. But here's another book.
Awesome. Thank you.
Well, we've got one book done, a song done, a little interview, and now we have a final book. This book I came across this summer when I was reading, and I thought it was really great because I feel like we're not taking enough time to breathe lately when we get upset or nervous or anxious. So, this book is called My Magic Breath. It's called My Magic Breath Finding Calm Through Mindful Breathing. And it's written by Nick Ortner and Allison Taylor. And the pictures are by Michelle Polizzi. This book I have permission to read from HarperCollins. So I'm going to need some participation in this because it involves, you know what it involves? Breathing. So everyone can breathe, right? Yes, everyone can breathe. So we're going to practice some breathing in this. Do you have the magic breath? Let's see. Take a deep breath in. And blow it out. Let's do that again. Wow, you do have the magic breath. The magic breath is special. It helps when you have too many thoughts running through your mind. At the end of the day, there's a lot to think about. Sometimes when you're worried or nervous or sad, deep breaths can help push some of those thoughts away. Think about when you feel happy. Taking a big breath in and thinking about something that made you feel great will help you to enjoy your happy moments even more. It's magic. Let's try it out. Take a deep breath in and out. What happened today that made you smile? Everyone think of something that happened today that made you smile. Take a deep breath in and picture that moment in your mind. Get ready, take it in. And breathe it out. Let's blow all those happy thoughts onto the page. Now that looks like happiness. Think about it again and do it one more time. Phew, that is a lot of happiness. I bet you have a smile on your face. A big smile can make you feel even better. But sometimes things happen that make you feel sad or mad. Did something happen today that made you feel that way? I bet it's might be stuck in your mind. Let's try your magic breath again. Think about that thing that might be stuck in your mind and take a deep breath in and out. Think about what happened. Now keep it in your mind. Close your eyes and take a deep breath in, and now blow it out right here, right on this page. One more time, take an even bigger breath. Remember that happy thought? Use it to push out your sad thought right onto this page. Deep breath in and breath out. Keep trying. Did it work? Try one more time. Make sure to blow all the sad thoughts out of sight onto this page. In and out. Phew. Did you do it? You did? Goodbye, sad thoughts. Do you feel better now? You used your magic breath to help. Taking deep breaths in and out when you're sad or mad or worried or happy can just make you feel better. Your magic breath can help you laugh and appreciate happy times. Magic breath can also help you feel calm when you're not so happy. Instead of having your mind full of thoughts at the end of the day, your mind is ready for sweet dreams. So let's do one big yawn. Time to give your magic breath a rest. Sweet dreams. Now, it's not quite time for bed yet, but it's always time to feel more calm, especially when there's so much going on and so many changes. It's really important to remember that you can take a big, deep breath and blow out all of those feelings. That's an important thing to remember as we go into school or stay home from school or things are changing all around us. So these are my two favorite books, and I feel so excited to have been able to share them with you today. My Magic Breath and How Full is Your Bucket for Kids. That, along with singing about money with my friends Nick and Penny on the recording of Miss Money at Home at the Rockland Trust website. Wow, I got to do 3 of my favorite things today. So I'm going to breathe my breath in and think about how happy that makes me to share that with you and breathe it out. So thank you so much for joining me today. And I'm so excited to do this again sometime.
Thank you so much, Miss Money. This was lovely. And I'm not going to lie, I think that second book made me a little bit sleepy.
It's a good one to think about when it's a Friday afternoon.
Absolutely. But a great reminder to take into the weekend. And just like you were saying, this time when I know a lot of different families are doing a lot of different things, especially when it comes to school. So deep breaths are, I think, a must right now. But thank you for spending the afternoon with us. Thank you to Miss Money and all the rest of our friends at Rockland Trust for sponsoring today's session. And don't forget to check out the links in the comments to see Miss Money's podcast and the rest of the activities that you can do at home. And I hope everyone has a lovely weekend. And again, thank you so much for hanging out with us, Miss Money.
Bye.
Bye, friends.